All right. What else?
First off, thank you for spreading all of your amazing messages. I really appreciate that you uplift humanity.
Well, we can spread them, but they got to hook up with you or they don't go anywhere. It's attraction. Good for you. Yeah. We are in this together, and we appreciate what you say. Yeah.
So, my question is, how does viewing and feeling what you're trying to manifest coincide with being in the present now and mindful?
Often it doesn't fit at all. Because if you're standing in the now and you're focused upon the absence of something you want, then you're in contradiction to... So ask your question again, because you slipped a little word on the end, mindful, that we want to investigate. Can you say it sort of again, sort of what you said? How?
So I guess what I'm feeling is, while being in the now,
Yeah.
and present and feeling the current emotions and stuff, how do I also feel what I'm trying to envision like it's here?
By deciding how you want to feel in the now. See, it doesn't matter if you're thinking about the past or the present or the future. But what does matter is that you're thinking of it the way your inner being is thinking about it. Because if you're thinking about it the way your inner being is thinking about it, then there's no resistance and value is coming. Can you give us an example of something that you're chewing over?
One example would be trying to find a relationship that matches my vibration and values. And obviously, there's being in the now and accepting how things are and embracing being single, but also wanting to manifest a relationship and obviously feel the love that I would feel in a relationship for myself, but while also feeling here in the moment.
I'm going to offer you a really strong statement, and then we'll backtrack and make it all fit together. What we really, really, really would like you to be in the place of feeling and knowing and expressing to us is something like, the manifestation of what I want has not occurred yet, but my clarity about what I'm looking for is so delicious to think about that really, Abraham, I'm feeling so good in anticipation that it might not even matter if the relationship ever happens. Now that's a lot to ask, isn't it? In fact, it's the opposite of what most people are asking. Most people are saying, give me what I want and then I'll feel better. And we're saying, feel better and then you'll get what you want. So it's about being so sure. You see, if you knew what your inner being knows about the relationship that's on its way to you, you wouldn't be asking this question. If you had the confidence in your point of attraction in the way that your inner being does, you'd be enjoying the process. Oh, we really want to say this. You know, earlier when we were talking about how much fun it is to be physical and how this is the place where the vibration turns to thoughts and the thoughts turn to things, and when the vibration explodes into the now and you get to live it, how exciting that can be and how you really, really want that. But that explosion part is less than 1% of the time you spend. And so if you're needing it to just be boom, 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 boom in order to stay happy, you're going to have a hard time. But if you are happy in anticipation, happy in speculation, happy in adding a new thing to the list, happy in observing others, happy in noticing how the law of attraction shows you, yeah, I'd like some of that I see over there, and I'd like some of that I see over there. In other words, as you feel satisfaction in the evolution of your desire and in the closing of the gap, because friends, we want to say this to you, that Esther's impulse is to scream it to you. That's how strong our desire is for you to hear it. If you can get it, that you in a mundane way, joy's in the journey, the joy's in the journey, the joy's in the journey. That's what you, but the joy is in the journey because the journey is the most of it. What journey? The journey of knowing what I don't want, the journey of feeling left out and lonely, the journey of launching a rocket of desire and knowing that I'm not even close to a match for it. The journey of knowing I'm not a match for it, but wanting to be a match for it, so trying a little bit to be a match to it. The journey of figuring out how to match up with what I want a little bit. The journey of giving myself some ease without needing the condition to change. The journey of showing myself that how I feel is about my focus, not about what's manifested. The journey of syncing up with my inner being and feeling that power. The journey of knowing I wasn't synced up, and then that I wanted to be, and then that I focused, and then that I was, and what that felt like. The journey of feeling what true momentum is. The journey of feeling what it's like when I'm in sync with my inner being, and the clarity and the wit and the humor and the timing that I have when I'm tuned in, tapped in, turned on. The feeling of being so in alignment that who I'm interacting with is irrelevant, because my bag of marbles is attracting the best of all the bags of all the marbles, and only those who are in sync with who I really am are coming to me. So my resistance factor is way, way down. My alignment factor is way, way up. I'm starting to feel really invincible. I'm feeling so good so much of the time. I don't feel the absence or the lack of this relationship. And then all of a sudden, ooh, I see you. I see you, and the way I feel is that even though I don't know you at all, I can feel who I think you might be. It feels like that. You know it when you see it. You know it when you get in the vicinity of it. Or a feeling of, I wasn't going to go over there, but then I thought maybe I'd go over there, and I don't know why I was going over there. I just felt really strong about going over there, and then that happened over there. And I thought, I was tuned in, tapped in, turned on. And that journey of discovery is what life is all about. It's not about want it, get it, want it, get it, want it, get it, want it, get it. It's about want it and don't get it, and then want it more. And then want it and don't get it, and then want something a little more different about it, and then want it and don't get it and don't like how I feel, and then decide that I'm tired of not feeling good, so I'm going to want it and not have it and feel better anyway. Oh, breakthrough right there. Breakthrough right there. I don't have it yet, but I'm clear about it. I'm focused upon it. I'm calibrating to what my inner being knows. I'm no longer calibrating to the absence of what I want, since that's what I've got. I'm calibrating to the vibrational presence of what my inner being sees, and I know that that's going to turn into something. I know the process, and so I'm secure. I understand how it works, and so I am secure. I'm no longer living conditional love. I don't need a condition to change so that I can have a positive reaction to it. I got my positive reaction figured out, because I can tell when I feel good and when I don't. And I prefer to feel good, and so I do. The other day, Esther was roaming around a big house by herself, talking to Jerry, who croaked 11 years ago. And mostly it's okay, but that day, it wasn't. And so she sat down to write with him. She types in her computer, relaxes, and then he writes back. And she said, I'm lonely. She wasn't faking. She was lonely. And then she said, I'm just going to sit here. What say you? She says, what do you think about that? And then he said, Esther, almost Esther, do you think you're lonely or bored? And Esther thought, oh, I'm bored. I'm bored, and I'm blaming you. Which is why I thought I was lonely. Because I was never bored when you were around, because we were always doing something. And so you can get to this point where, am I alone, or am I in the process of co-creating with someone? You just have to decide where you are in the journey. When you get out on the road, Esther loves a road trip, and when you get out on the road and you just start out, you might be 400, you might be thousands of miles, but you might be 400 or 500 miles from where you're going, and you don't feel lack of being where you intend to be. You feel on the way, and you don't just stubbornly say, well, I'm not where I want to be, so I'll just put it in park and I'll just sit here. You don't do that either. You follow the path of least resistance. You start heading in the direction of where you want to be. And you start noticing fun things along the way. And you're glad that you have this journey. And it doesn't matter that you're not where you're going to end up, because it's nice here, and it's nice here, and it's nice here, and it's nice here, and it's nice here. And in the moving through time and space, you have all of these opportunities for your inner being to hook you up with things that you've been noticing that you want. Have you ever noticed? Jerry and Esther were driving out across the desert one day, and they traveled in a big old bus towing a car behind it for many, many years. And there was a restaurant that they were going to eat at. And there must have been hundreds of billboards that they passed by, and the only one Esther saw was the restaurant where they were planning to eat. Now, that's what we're talking about. Your inner being knows what you're looking for. And when you're feeling good, that's what your inner being's going to be pointing out. Clues, keys, paths. And after a while, you just never, ever, ever feel lack of something that hasn't happened yet. Instead, you feel anticipation of how it's going to show up. And that's why we use the term surprise and delight. And Esther says, I get how I could be delighted, but why am I surprised? We say, because you don't know. You don't know what your inner being knows. You don't even know for sure what your level of resistance is, but your inner being does. You don't even know what thoughts would lead you to a thought, but your inner being does. You don't know what path will lead you to what you want to see, but your inner being does. And when you're feeling good and you're loose and happy, then your inspiration kicks in and you live such a good life that people look at you and say, what magic do you have? And you just say, I just don't worry about stuff anymore. I know I did step one. You don't explain it to them. They'll think you're crazy. But what you mean is, I know, I've asked. And I got this humongous team of non-physical ghosts looking for ways to surprise and delight me. And they all know that the path of most allowance is not the shortest, quickest path. It's the most rewarding path. It's the most fun path. It's the most exhilarating path. It's the most juicy path. Yeah?
So focus on and embrace the
incompletion of your eternal life. The constant incompletion of your never-ending, unfolding life. When you get that, then, oh, you got it made. Yeah.
And the attraction in the moment.
It's always there. You never turn that law of attraction thing off. Your point of attraction, it never turns off. It doesn't turn off. When you sleep, it slows it down a little bit. You're radiating, and marbles are matching up, never-endingly. But remember, there's you. There's your inner being. This is a powerful point of attraction. Your inner being has gathered up everything you want. Your inner being has gathered up everything you want and is guiding you to the path of most allowance, which is the path of most satisfaction, which is the path of most, you're really going to like it. Yeah. We know you heard that. Enough?
Yeah. Thank
Done?
you.
Yeah, really good. Yeah.